Five deal done, uno deal done. We'll talk about this coming up next on the Wincinnati podcast.
Let's go!
It's an exciting time to be a Bengals fan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Partner, we're here.
We're here, bro.
It's a reality. Jamar Chase, Tee Higgins is done. We're here live, Wincinnati podcast. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this out. Let the people know that we live right now. We both apparently hit unk status because people were telling me like Ace and Zim, your boy Drake, wake up. Where y'all at? It's time to celebrate.
Yeah.
You woke up and saw what happened. What were your initial thoughts?
Well, I mean, shout out to there's a lot of people that kind of reported it beforehand. I think, like we were kind of privy to it too. Like everybody knew it was done. It was just a matter of when it was gonna, come out. I honestly thought that I was like, well, the extra hold up must be like Trey or something like that. But you know what I mean? Like, just wait on that. We good on that. 91 coming back, I feel like. But I don't know. I just woke up and it's a lot, bro. It's a lot. Because, for the last couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Like what it's been like for me logging in.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, like you know what it's like for like me every single day, just logging in and hearing like all of that stuff where there's so many other people that were incorrect, and I don't know if it was like the weight lifted off, but much like when I went to sleep on the Orlando Brown Jr. one, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like I don't like the pages that give you nothing but information that the my bad, my computer tripping. I just don't like those pages that give you that information. I firmly believe that the Bengals put up bread with the best of them. Like I really do. And I don't know where this I know where the narrative of them being cheap came from, but
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I just expected it to get done. Like it's
Right.
a lot of people hit me. It's like, bro, I didn't think they could do it. I was like, name me the big stars that left the Bengals. Like Bates. Is that it's a safety. It's not really a big star. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I that's the part where I feel very different than the masses that talk about the Bengals. The stars generally stick around. We'll even get the stars like the Dunlaps, the Genos, and the AJ Greens. We'll get them extended time when others would have probably let them go. And I'm like, name me those stars that like left. Like what, Corey Dillon? Like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like so that my frame of mind is I always felt as though whether it was me putting out that one tweet or whatever, I just felt like this is what we deserve. This is what it's supposed to be. And these people in the masses, they lie to our fans, and a lot of people just help them. I don't know. I'm just not there to help them. I'm there to evaluate and look at every single situation one by one. Sometimes you get the best of them, sometimes you're not. I thought that this deal changed a lot because you talk about the guarantees for Tee Higgins. And I think that was the major breakthrough in this whole conversation is the guarantees. And the Blackburns treat this almost like being a lawyer. Once the precedent is set, then generally that's how, cases work, right? The NFL isn't that way. And I think that they thought all these years, if they just they set the precedent of getting guaranteed money to a player in the second year, then everybody's going to want that. No. And I'm going to give you another hot take. I think that I like the way that they front load deals like Orlando Brown, Sheldon Rankins, Trey Waynes. I like that. Where you give the money up front and then you give yourself a chance to get out. There are a lot of teams that y'all are watching that they're telling you that are better than the Bengals, and we're watching them lose 12 plus players. The 49ers just lost 12 plus players and went 6-11, but they're telling you should throw all your money in and go one for the. That's what it looks like. You go all in and then you lose big pieces, not just one safety. And I thought everybody was not like, you got to understand what's going on around you too. It's like these other teams are losing pieces all over the place. They're just not perpetuating it on the mass media. So then I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the Bengals, I feel like we're in a good spot, bro. We're in a really good spot.
We're in a great spot, man. I mean, for me, you already know. I think we were both aligned on this. We never saw like a situation without Tee Higgins being here because he was so key to what the Bengals were. Him growing up a Cincinnati Bengals fan, him being the first part when Joe Burrow was initially drafted, right? He never played with a quarterback other than Burrow. Jamar Chase, we kind of talked about the Chase versus Panay. We had that. And I mean, for us to go through all of that and to go to a bowl immediately, in a way that other people have not been able to do. Like there has not been a season where you've had a team that's given up 70 plus sacks as young as a team as the Cincinnati Bengals were. Joe Burrow was the youngest quarterback to make it that far within his second year as a number one overall pick. So we were doing things and setting trends that I think woke up the rest of the NFL because you started to see teams in Philly go and get the two receivers. They went and traded for A.J. Brown. Like during the draft, you went and saw the Miami Dolphins try to do the same thing with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. You went and saw all of these teams realize like, hey, it's a passing league. Maybe building around receivers is the way to do things, right? And so when we did that, to me, even though we went to the Super Bowl and the result was what it was the first thing me and you were talking about? Tee Higgins gave Jalen Ramsey and Jamar Chase gave Jalen Ramsey like 200 in the Super Bowl. Like if they can do that to him, they can do that to anybody. So to me, from that day, it was like the foundation of this team is Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tee Higgins. It never clicked to me that it was going to be somebody other than that. I never felt like it should have been anybody other than that. And to me, that's what made the Bengals so unstoppable. Yes, the defense played amazing on the way to the Super Bowl. And I'm not here to sell them short or what they did, because we don't get there without Eli Apple knocking the guy out of bounds. We don't get there without the Jesse Bates and Von Bell interceptions and the Logan Wilsons and the Jermaine Pratts, which a lot of our fans kind of forget about. You know, this guy made a play for us to get our first bowl win or our first playoff win in 30 years. So I'm not the type to discard our players real quickly. Like I'll still sit here and say, like, I want Jermaine Pratt to stay. He obviously requested a trade, but I don't forget what Jermaine Pratt did. And that's what it was for me with Tee Higgins. I know for a fact when I think back to that Chiefs playoff game after Jamar dropped 266, their game plan was we cannot let Jamar Chase beat us. And I didn't forget that Tee Higgins was the big reason why we won that game. So for me, like, I don't discard our players' accomplishments and I always look at it. But I knew when it came down to this, the Bengals were going to have to make a decision, especially when you have to pay your quarterback. It's either you're going to invest heavily on offense or defense. And I chose offense. Like, I'm sorry. I love defense. I want Trey Hendrickson back, and I think we're still going to be able to get him back. But to me, when it came down to Jesse Bates versus Tee Higgins, I was going Tee Higgins. When it came down to anybody versus Tee Higgins, I was going Tee Higgins. The fact that the Bengals went at this and they were able to get it done, for me, I was upset at first when Joe signed, not because Joe signed, but I was like, Joe, force them to make them sign T before you sign your deal. Similar to what Jamar Chase did. I didn't think it in my head, and obviously the players were thinking this. Jamar was like, you know what, Ace, I got you. Nah, I'm not signing my deal until you guys sign T. So for them to do this, bro, to break precedent and really show all of the Bengals that they're all in, really to stick it to the media that create these fake narratives about them, that they're broke and all of this, even though they gave Joe Burrow the biggest bag, they gave Jamar Chase the biggest bag for a non-quarterback. They gave Tee Higgins the biggest bag for the second receiver. And now you're talking about they may give Trey another bag. So you can't really say that. They did the whole thing with, oh, the Bengals don't have a practice facility. Literally everything that these people have tried to say about the Bengals, they have dispelled. Like the narrative is dead. So what is it now? Is it now it's that you paid too much? Like we're doing things the Bengals way. Everybody copied the Bengals way after 2021. So we're not going to sit here now and act like the Bengals don't know how to build a football team when you have two of the best receivers in the league in their primes on one team with arguably the MVP from last season. Yeah, I'm taking that bet and I'm investing in that and I'm investing in offense. And that's just where I was with it. And like you said, bro, I thought like it was crazy because that was not met with open arms. And that's what we've kind of been through on this podcast. When we started the podcast, when it was Orange is the New Black, a lot of people weren't open to moving on from Andy Dalton. They weren't open to moving on and getting Joe Burrow at the time. And I feel like when we stood so hard for them keeping Tee Higgins and Jamar Chase, it was what it was. But like at the end of the day, we stuck to what it was that we said that we wanted. And the Bengals ended up doing it. And Joe backed us up on what it, because it just don't make sense for Joe to be like, yeah, I don't want my top two weapons here with me. So for me, like, it was just a moment of vindication. I remember I talked to you a long time ago and was like, bro, the day that we signed Tee Higgins is going to be one of the best days on this app. So for me, bro, I was happy that it got done. T, Jamar, like the only one missing for me is Tyler Boyd, but I knew that it was going to be too hard to keep the Migos together. But the fact that they were able to keep those two together speaks volumes.
Yeah, I mean, and Tyler Boyd is a good situation of it, when it's time to move on, it's time to move on. You know what I mean? Right. And I think the thing that also stood out to me too is we're talking Tee Higgins 4 years, not a 3-year. The 4-year is his whole entire prime for real. Like you literally, he grew up, he was a Bengal fan all along. AJ Green was his favorite player. He's drafted by the Bengals. 31 other teams had an opportunity to draft him. He goes to the team that he wants to go to. He has multiple 1,000-yard season, has 100 yards in the Super Bowl. 5 years later, comes back and extends another 4 years. Like his whole career is about to be a Cincinnati Bengal, and we'll maybe have a tough decision later on, but who cares? Like We're here. And I think a lot of people talk about woulda, coulda, shouldas and all this other stuff. I get that. I just don't operate that way. I appreciate people pointing out woulda, coulda, shouldas to me. But like I tell them at my job, they don't like it. But I'm just like, tell me about what's going on today and how can we get better, like moving forward. That's not the way that the world works. Is like we sit there and second guess every single decision that we make, or we second guess every single thing, or say you could have saved money. Like everything has a domino effect. So once one thing happens, then you might be looking at another situation where maybe you don't draft a certain player, or maybe you don't get a certain player. We're here. And the Bengals have made Jamar Chase the highest paid wide receiver, non-quarterback NFL player in NFL history. And we're talking about the highest wide receiver duo. They also cleared up $30 million in cap space by signing them. The flexibility of a franchise tag, but everybody's telling me that, oh, they're cheap and da-da-da. The tag gave them is the opposite of cheap. The tag, my man, the flag takes away all the flexibility. So I just think that them signing those two together is insane. And anybody, and I urge anybody, even if you're an op listening to this, just know I don't give a shit what you're saying today about defense or anything else. I just don't. And I know a lot of people I've seen in the comment sections that they be like, bro, they're moving it. I don't care. I'm on your ass when it comes to these receipts. And I'm on to the point of you told us specifically, these people told us that Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins wouldn't get signed. End of story. I don't care about nothing else that they talking about. I'm not having no conversations about nothing else. This is national 9 to 1, 1 to 5 day. They scared of the 6. Like it is what it is. Like I can't. If you're mad at the fact that the Bengals did get more cap space and they did get a little bit better on defense, like who cares? They're now trying. The same people that were telling you that you couldn't sign them are now telling you, oh, that's bad roster construction. Block all that out. stay on track. One of the greatest parts of being a debater, which I love to debate, y'all know this, is you have to stay on subject. If you're moving to a whole nother subject after I just pointed out the fact that you said that we couldn't do that and that was your whole stick, we're going to stick right on that point. I'm not letting any, I don't care what you think of the Bengals defense. You say that Tee Higgins and Jamar Chase couldn't get signed. In the story, that's what we're doing. We're doing a special show tonight too, and we're going to talk. We're going to talk to Jamar Chase's dad later on. Because remember, we have no sources. You know what I mean? So
you don't have any, bro.
Shout out to anybody that's Bengals Twitter contributing to anything for the cause. I do this for us. I don't do this for myself. If I didn't have to, I told you this many times. If I didn't have to show my face, I wouldn't do it. I don't. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to be a liaison in between the conversations, introducing y'all to new people and having conversations with people that maybe you wouldn't get in the locker room or give you insight from other people. We just had the interview with Aditi King Kabbalah that literally told everybody on that show that he wasn't trying to get $30+ million. He was trying to get, paid, his market value. But then the money comes out and everybody's like, oh my God. Yeah, you should have been watching Wincinnati. We tried to tell you. So yeah, we don't have sources, but we're gonna have Jimmy Chase on tonight, and we're gonna have another special guest too. So we don't have. So when people tell y'all that stuff online, just let them talk. We're done arguing with people about any of that stuff. The proof is in where's their shows, what I'm saying? Here we are. We're here contributing to Bengals. Not about Zim, not about Ace. We are here as a beacon of information and resources to try to help out so that when something happens, you don't have this weird angst on like, oh, they're gonna drop the ball and that. That's not fun. You can fan how you want to fan, but that's not fun. I want to be able to try to educate and give people information along the way. If people are just telling you, I got this first, I got it, they're about that. They're not trying to do what I'm trying to do. They go do that over there. That's cool. I'm doing this over here with my partner.
Nah, that's a fact, man. So Bengals fans, we just wanted to talk to y'all, give y'all our quick thoughts on the Tee Higgins and Jamar Chase extensions. We'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. with a special guest. So we'll have Jimmy Chase on. So make sure you tap in for that. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, head over to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do go live on Twitter, but we're going to start cutting those feeds early. So we need you guys to shift over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave your comments there because that helps grow the show. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you later tonight. Who dey?